What's a single valuable piece of information you would like to share? If you're outside during a storm and get a metallic taste in your mouth for seemingly no reason, then you're about to get struck by lightning. It is a freeing feeling once you stop caring what people think of you. If you record yourself saying snip saneep and then play it backwards, you'll sound like a confused alien saying penis. They're not called star destroyers because they destroy stars. It's because they're ships. Starships. But they're like Navy destroyers. Star destroyers. Don't fuck around with your health. Something is wrong, get it checked out. Quick breads include muffins, banana bread, biscuits, and soda bread. All quick breads rise by acid-base reactions. Usually in baking that means one of 4 acids: acetic acid, lactic acid, citric acid, or tartaric acid. If a recipe is calling for one and you don't have it, look up a substitution tool and use one of the others. Acetic acid equals vinegar. Citric acid equals citrus juice. Lactic acid equals buttermilk, yogurt. Tartaric acid equals cream of tartar. If you live in the United States and have any insurance, you don't need a prescription to get a month of physical therapy. It's called direct access, and you can call your local PT clinic and request a walk-in appointment. Here's why this matters. You hurt your back. Nothing major, you just moved wrong, maybe you heard a pop, or maybe not, and now it hurts to move. You could call to get in with an orthopedic specialist, but they're booked a month out. You wait the month and see the doc who orders an MRI. That's a 2-week wait. You do the MRI and have a follow-up with the doc a week or 2 later. He sees something like degenerative disc/joint disease, which, if you're over 25, you probably have, and sends you to PT 2 months after your initial injury. You start PT. You have all sorts of weird compensatory movements due to the pain, everything hurts, and PT needs to work through months of guarding and compensations to make any progress. Or, you hurt your back with the same injury and mechanism as before. You call the doc and they're booking a month out, so you make the appointment. In the meantime, you start PT. You work for a month to help stretch/strengthen/get things moving appropriately again. At the end of the month, one of 3 things happens. Your back feels better and you cancel your doctor's appointment. Your back is getting better, so you keep your appointment and request continued PT. Your back is not getting better, and you can tell your ortho that you've been doing PT for a month with no improvement, so they move alternative treatment options. In any case, you're in a much better situation than you were in the first situation. ETA, this is covered by insurance. Just pay your usual copay. The clinic will verify your insurance before you start to make sure you're in network. See ETA 4 if you're worried about deductibles or not having insurance. ETA 2, here's a link to what each state offers. ETA 3, I used back as an example, but it's anything you'd need PT for, from back to neck to knee or hip or shoulder. Hell, if your toe hurts and it's been jacking up how you walk, we can probably help. We can also help with tension headaches. ETA 4, I'm seeing a bunch of people rightfully worried about unmet deductibles and still having to pay out of pocket. Most clinics have a self-pay option, which is substantially better than what we charge insurance, because we only get reimbursed a fraction of that. The self-pay is basically just enough to cover overhead. If that's not doable, many will also offer financing. If you're worried about the financial strain, tell your therapist. I've treated plenty of people who tell me at the evaluation that they're strapped for cash. Instead of seeing them multiple times/week, I'll do the eval to figure out what's wrong, and then give them stretches and/or exercises, and educate how to progress them. I'll have them come back in a few weeks and we can update the plan based on how they're doing. It's not ideal, but it's better than living in pain. Finally, if finances are absolutely limiting, a lot of public health clinics have resources for free or reduced cost/sliding scale PT. It's generally 1 or 2 days per week and it's therapists who are volunteering to help folks out. The system is broken, but that doesn't mean you have to live in pain. If you're ever in a survival situation where you have to forage for food, don't bother looking for mushrooms. The likelihood of finding an edible species that won't make you sick or kill you is so astronomically low that it's better to just spend that time looking for roots, berries, and herbs. Add all the water at the beginning when making pizza dough. Once you have a ball of dough, if you add water it's not going to incorporate well and you'll have to work your dough twice as hard to make it soft enough. When you are writing a paper and need X number of sources, if every source says the same thing you can use and cite all of them. It doesn't have to be separate discrete pieces of information. So 5 sources all say the sky is blue, you cite all 5 sources and bam you have 5/10 out of the way, for example. No one told me this till I was in grad school and they were like 25-page paper with like 30 citations and I started freaking out cause it was the biggest paper I'd ever written. An ultracarpedarian is someone who expresses their opinion on subjects they know almost nothing about. Police in America are legally allowed to lie to you to get a confession. They can lie about all kinds of evidence they have on you and that you have no chance but to confess. Don't say a word other than to ask for a lawyer. Never fall into the belief that it'll get worked out in court later. The second you confess you're done. Even if you are guilty and want to confess, still get a lawyer. They'll work out a plea bargain for you that you could not get if you confessed to a cop before your trial. Learning how to get along with people you don't exactly like in the workplace will do wonders for your career. Sometimes it isn't about having talent, it's enough to be a good decent person to others. Coming from me, a talentless corporate hire. AKA the personality hire, ha ha ha. When you decide to sober up, be prepared to lose many people you thought were your friends. Don't drive if you haven't slept in the last 24 hours. A person who has been awake for 24 hours is as cognitively impaired as a person who is drunk. Extremely useful website most people probably don't know about. Radio.garden, listen to radio around the world. Libgen, download almost any textbook as e-copy. Sci-Hub, gives free access to download almost any paper. Terms of service, didn't read summarizes terms of service and rates them for privacy. FutureMe.org, you can use it to send emails to the future you. Been using it for almost 3 years. It helps put into perspective how much has changed over the course of a year. Photopea online image editor with Photoshop feature. 12 feet it bypasses all paywalls and removes all ads from any web page I have found. Show me a 10 feet paywall, I'll show you a 12 feet ladder. No install, just copy and paste your link. Old games download, this website has every single PC game from the 70s, 80s, 90s till the early 2000s. My abandonware is a far better option than old games download. Flight Radar 24, wondering where that plane, jet, or helicopter is going? Check them out. Note: don't buy anything on that site, just use it for further info only. Unsplash, tons of free to use images of damn near everything. Don't accept criticism from someone you would not ask for advice from. You always think you're going to have more time. You won't. Make the most of today. Not very many people care about you. Cherish the ones who do. If you get a burst of floaters in your eye and see a curtain-like vision cut moving in from the side, top, or bottom, you have a detached retina and have 24 hours to get to an eye surgeon before you go blind in the area that is fucked. This is a highly characteristic pattern of vision loss that is caused by the retina peeling away from the back of your eye. It's a medical emergency, but it is highly treatable. If you have a high correction for myopia, you are at increased risk for it. Tends to happen in middle age or later along with a vitreous separation. I had it happen in both my eyes while in my middle 50s. Edit. See more here. https://en.m.wikipedia.org/wiki/retinal_detachment. Second edit. and you will get a cataract in the eye a few months after the surgery, and will need to have your lens replaced with an implant. Pro tip: if you have a strong correction in both eyes, ask the surgeon if they will indicate lens replacement is necessary in both eyes so you are not stuck with a normal vision eye, the one with the replacement lens, which can have a correction, and your normal, terrible vision in the unaffected eye, which in my case was like -7.50 or something. The retinal surgery blew my insurance deductible of $7,000, and with the surgeon's medical opinion, the second lens replacement was covered and essentially a freebie. Then I had the retina detach in that eye about 18 months later.